We are back in Proctor, Minnesota, just on the edge of Duluth. This is round 4 of the MNRC Off-road Racing Series. The Paintworks racing team is excited to have one of their long-time racing partners, Trevor Johnson, back at the track for this weekend. Carter is here also, and has a brand new MNRC P5 in his car. Corey broke it in carefully, and it is ready for a race tune. Alex T4 is ready to go, and will be the first one from the team to hit the track today for qualifying round 1. He is off to a good start, running at the top of the order with this group. Let's take a look at the flow of this circuit under race conditions. The backstretch here will also act as the grid on Sunday. The end of the sweeper corner has some option bumps, most are staying tight. A little double, then into the switchbacks. The pit lane jump has options, double, triple, whatever you like. An armpit corner here with a dip at the apex. A tabletop jump on the left, into a corner, then into the heartbreak whoops. These would cause all kind of issues for racers this weekend. Alec is still having a clean run, and has Sean Van Dalen right in front of him, but they are about to get into some heavy traffic. Alec tries to make the outside work. July rains just lift slightly, and no contact is made. That was some heads-up driving by July. Sean's Techno looks pretty quick out of the hole. His clutching looks solid and snappy for this tight, twisty circuit. Alec would have a bad lap, and drop to second behind Sean. They are both putting in solid runs, and will be able to take advantage of the resort for round 2 of qualifying. The buggy qualifying rounds have started. Here is Tyler Albert with his team Associated B4, powered by an OS engine. Alec is also on track with his B4, navigating through the treacherous whoops. Trevor Johnson is picking up right where he left off. He is working hard in the pits to get the car the way he likes it, and it is showing on the track. Carter Gosh is putting in some work. His new MNRC P5 is nearly on the tune, and is looking great. Those old P5 engines were outstanding, and will be missed in the market. Kyle's team Associated B4 looks extremely fast around the corners. He has been running the new rear weight bias chassis, and has been testing and tweaking with Clayton Cartaluca. It looks like their hard work is paying off. Here is James Dolan, another team Associated driver, getting ready to take on the whoops. Looks like some engine trouble for him. Josh Ford's car is looking good as usual. Always a contender at the MNRC races. He is one of the veterans who is still showing the young guns the fast line around the track. Looks like a little engine trouble for Tony Sletton. That certainly won't make him very happy. Carter is putting in some clean laps in his qualifier. His team-associated car on sweep tires looks pretty handy around this Lake Superior circuit. He is cutting some nice tight lines and carrying a pretty good pace. Following this youngster progression on the track has been fun to watch. Qualifying is over for the day, and Tyler Albert is not completely happy with his engine tune, so they ask for some help from one of the best, Kyle Holmberg. Kyle will get a close bench tune set, then it will be back to the track to do the final set of the needles. Tyler runs a few laps and comes into the pits for some tune on the bottom. Kyle also takes a look at his brake bias, which plays a big part in how a car can get through a corner under braking. Too much front brake and it will push its way past the apex. Too much rear brake and the car may spin out under hard braking.
So I'm hanging with Tyler Albert, right?
Yes.
And we just finished a full day of qualifying here. His car is still got the dirt on it. He's one of the young guns. I raced with Tyler in the 5-10 days indoor off-road clay, and he's showing some amazing speed there. And this is his first year running nitro. So hey Tyler, how old are you and where are you from?
I'm 17. I'm from Hayward, Wisconsin. So it's a pretty big haul to get to most of the tracks, unfortunately.
I didn't even know that. Hayward, Wisconsin.
Yep.
So you've got, that's pretty far north, right?
No, it's 2.5 hours like straight east of FTR 510, those tracks.
Okay, so like if you wanted to go to Milwaukee or Cheese City, how far are those tracks?
That's about 4.5, 5 hours.
Okay.
For us.
So not terrible. You've got some awesome venues that aren't that far. I mean, we have, where Alec and I live in Brainerd, Omaha is an 8-hour drive, Milwaukee is an 8-hour drive. We're lucky we have these awesome venues in Minnesota, but yeah. So how long have you been running RC cars in general?
I started racing in my friend's backyard about 6 years ago, when I started running buggies, off-road stuff 3 years ago. It was January of 2021 when I started racing.
That's it. That's an awesome progression to where you are today. I mean, you just to tell our listeners or whatever, Tyler ran 6th overall today in Nitro Buggy, which, I mean, there's a lot of talent here, and he had an awesome run. So tell us about your sixth place run.
It was just a clean run. I only had 1 or 2 marks, and on this track, that's a good run. I was battling with Alec quite a bit during that race. Ended up getting him by a little over a 10th at the end of the run. So, yeah.
I noticed that you had Kyle. We just saw Kyle tuning your motor. Tell us a little bit about what you're dealing with today.
So in the first round of qualifying, in the warm-ups, the motor flamed out twice on us, and then during the race, it flamed out twice again. So didn't know what to do. We had another motor lying around, so we put that in, and then struggled to tune the rest of the day. But with Kyle's help, we got it much closer.
Cool. Yeah, it was 90-some degrees, or pretty much 90 degrees today. A lot of people are having flame outs. Just difficult on the equipment. The track is incredibly grooved,
yes,
and hard, and a hot surface, so everything's getting hotter, clutches and everything else. So it's not surprising. It's a challenge for these little motors to get them quite right. So you want to tell us a little bit about your gear, what you're running with?
I'm running Team Associated cars. I got a OS Adam Drake motor in there, VP fuel, J Concept tires, but not on any teams. So just what I chose to run.
What are you running for servos?
Savox servos.
Savox servos. What's your radio? What are you driving with?
It's a Futaba 4PB.
So, Tyler, another thing that I noticed is you are a supporter of the Sweep brand tires.
Yes.
What are you thinking about some of the Nanobite? Let's talk about the Nanobite.
If I had the Nanobites, I probably would have run them all day today.
Okay.
The track was definitely there for it, but I don't have any.
Okay. Have you run them yet?
I have not yet run them.
Okay, I gotta set you up with a demo then.
Okay.
We have a couple sets. They've been actually Trevor and Carter and Alec have been running Nanobites, and a lot of people are talking about them. They're
I know the Savicles have all been running Nanobites all day.
who was?
Savicles, Benji.
Oh, okay.
Sam.
Yep. They're a big supporter of the brand, the smaller brand, Sweep. But you know, it's kind of nice to have options. You're running J-Cons today.
Yeah.
Okay.
J-Concept reflexes in Nitro and Proline slide locks in eBuggy.
What compounds were you running?
Blue compound in Nitro and S3 in eBuggy.
Okay. Yep. Typical. Yep. Hot track. Someone measured the track temp and it was 100+ degrees today.
Yeah, I think I heard like 130 or something.
Yeah. So hot surface. So anyway, Tyler, I just wanted to say that you're definitely a young gun. You've really got onto pace quick. In fact, at Loose Nuts, one of my previous videos, Tyler jumped into the A main. He bumped with Carter, and I think we had
Danny Bartholomew was the guy who won it.
Danny Bartholomew. So, which put the tally of associated cars, which Kyle was pretty excited about. I think there was 7 AE cars in the main. So, not much of a techno takeover in that one, but yeah, very cool. Thank you for the time, and I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, man.
Thank you. You too.
The evening has set in here at LSRCC. Many are busy prepping their cars for tomorrow's mains. For others, however, the party is just beginning. We will see who is fast on main day. The Truggy B main has started. Carter is in this race, and is currently 1 spot out of the bump in 4th position. He built this T4 himself, and has had no reliability issues. Pretty awesome for a 12-year-old mechanic. Xander Johnson is out front early and is getting into the flow. This will mean real trouble for his competitors. He is making the heartbreak whoops look easy. His Techno chassis, ultimate engine, raw speed tire package looks to be on point. His corners are tight, and his drive simply looks relaxed. Here is Josh Rogerson and Kyle Quast, heading through the whoops in second and third place. They have a little work to do to close the gap. They aren't really safe in their positions, as Carter is running close behind. We will see who puts it into push mode. Looks like Josh had a spin out after the sweeper, and has invited Carter to the party. Things are getting tighter as the trio get closer to the first round of pit stops. Josh has a little trouble on the sweep again, and is able to drive back onto the race line, but Carter has taken the spot, setting his sights on Quast. Kyle puts it into defense mode, protecting the line, and cuts it just a little too tight. Carter manages somehow to drive around, moving into second position. Josh also gets by and is now right on Carter's wing. Josh Rogerson dives into the pits for fuel. Unfortunately, Josh has a flame out. Lucas gets him refired quickly, and back in the fight. Carter is on his in-lap for fuel, right on the 7.5 minute mark. Trevor tops him off with a quick fuel stick pit, and Carter is back on his way. Textbook stop by the Paintworks crew. Grant Olson is in for his first pit stop also. Grant started second on the grid, but had a terrible start and found himself in the 11th spot on lap 2. He has been steadily digging himself out, and is currently in the 6th position. Trent Ignashevsky is in for fuel. A quick fuel tank check and he is back on his way. Xander is in for his fuel stop, and probably a bathroom break and some refreshments. Kyle Quast and his Techno have been putting in some stout laps, and is now closing the gap on Carter's Alpha Plus powered T4. These two have been seesawing all race. Seems the chaser always has the better pace. Carter gets a glimpse of Kyle in his peripherals, or possibly some wisdom from Chris on the radio, and seems to pull the trigger a little harder. Trevor drops in some fresh nitro and releases him back into the fight. Another uneventful routine stop. Kyle was in for fuel also, and comes out in a little bit of traffic. Xander was just about to lap second place Carter Gosh, but dives into the pits for fuel. Rob Petrick is in for his fuel. He is one of the long-time MNRC Series veterans. This should be Carter's last stop. He is still looking good for a bump position, but has fallen to third behind Kyle. The leader, Xander, has come in for his last stop, but appears they are having some kind of issue. Chad gets him fired, but again his engine dies. Kyle Quast would take over the top spot with his Techno, with only about 4.5 minutes to go in this race. He is carefully trying to make his way through traffic, knowing the B main win and transfer to the A is well within his grasp. The Paintworks crew looking on intensely as the closing laps of this race unfold. Carter gets a little boost in his trigger, as Chris has told him over the comms that the battle with Kyle Quast is for the B final win. Kyle just cleared the whoops, so Carter is not too far behind. He puts in a pretty good charge to close the gap, but runs out of time as the 30-minute race comes to an end. It was a great last effort, as he closed the gap down to only 3 seconds. Xander did manage to re-enter the race, but the disappointment is evident as he would finish out in the 8th position.
So darn it, you were checked out big time. You know, I think we did this interview last year, and you just were on a Sunday drive, and you were replicating that today, and then to have bad luck like that, it sucked. But good run nonetheless. Did an awesome job. And want to say anything about your stuff?
Mach 1s, raw speed tires, got to be the best tire out here for the weekend.
All right. Well, You got Buggy coming up yet?
Coming up soon.
And you have you're running Truggy too, right?
Yep.
Yep. Well, good luck in those, and we'll chat with you later.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, Carter, you made me nervous in that one. You were like so consistent. You looked, I mean, you look slow, but oh my gosh, I know that you're just cruising out there because you know, the guys that were behind you, I know are fast. So what do you think about that run?
It was good. I was just trying to find a good blend of consistency and being fast.
How was the motor?
It was good.
Good. I saw Trevor giving it the fuel gun in the pits. We didn't get to test any of that stuff, so I'm glad it all worked good.
Yeah.
So you were right there with Kyle Quast in the end. I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't let him go anywhere, but
No.
I think were you looking at the bigger picture, just get her in the show?
Yeah, I was just trying to get into the A and wasn't too worried about getting top spot.
So you looked kind of sweaty again.
It's hot.
All right, bud. Well, good luck, good run, and good luck in the A.
Thanks.
Although Tyler and Alec ran 6th and 7th in round 2 of qualifying, the point system has placed them 1st and 2nd on the grid in this B final. They are closely followed by KP Rains with his Mugen in 3rd. Carter is also in this one, currently running in the 5th position. Tyler has tightened the gap on Alec, but they have been running very similar lap times all weekend, so it will probably take a mistake.
Now we got a battle for the top spot. All of that tabletop in the back. Alex, Tyler, both things through the six-pack lead.
After the first pit stop, Alec would have a minor issue, and Tyler would take over the duties at the point. Both would finish out the race in the top 2 spots, with Danny Bartholomew in 3rd. Corey decided to put the cameras down for the A finals, to be more focused on Alec's pit needs. Here is some limited footage of the Truck A final, which was captured after Alec unfortunately broke out. Josh Ford and Alan Smith have checked out a bit in 1st and 2nd. The battle on the track currently is for 3rd spot between Brody, Sean and Greg. Greg is putting all kinds of pressure on Brody as they turn onto the straightaway.
Brody, Greg, and Van Dalen all fighting for that number 3 spot. Coming through the triple.
Greg would pull a tight inside line on Brody, and a bit of contact is made. Brody knew Greg had the line on him, and concedes. But that just puts Sean right on his wing.
Allen coming through the triple right now and into the bubble.
Josh is coming up to lap these guys, but he knows they are battling.
Race to watch out there is that 3, 4, 5.
Brody taps the inside tube. Sean scoots by on the inside.
Ford also just sit behind that then. If you want to get involved in that, or just take it easy here and go.
The whoops would jump up and bite Greg. Sean and Brody would drive on by. Greg is quickly marshaled and will drive above his comfort limit and really close the gap. Keep an eye out for that Kaio show.
By Brody, Greg, David. Minute 25 to go. Ford, Allen, Van Dalen, Brody, Greg.
Greg is already on the back door of Josh Ford, whom is still the leader of this race, and surely would rather not be in the mix with these guys. But Alan Smith is still out there charging forward in second place, and Josh needs to keep moving too. Greg would have a slow roll on the triple, impeding his heroic charge to get back into the fight.
Battle for that 3, 4, 5. They do have some open track out there with lines for them. Then Taylor through the 6-pack. Beautiful. And across the line.
Time is running down in this race, but look who's back to challenge Brody for the 4th position. This race is part of a series, and every point can make a difference. Greg Baumel is an MNRC veteran, and has a never-give-up attitude, but he is just going to run out of time in this one.